Have you ever heard of ways to save a few dollars? As Allstate says, save on car insurance? Well, drive safe and think smart. It could save you coins in the long run. Today I'll be talking about ways to avoid drinking and driving. In 2002, every state set their blood alcohol level to 0.08%. If you reach that or higher, you're considered legally intoxicated. 28 people die a day as a result of drinking while being intoxicated. 85% of teens in high school reported that they have binge drank, let alone reporting that they've drank in general, and they're not even 21 years old of age. This statistical information was published by the National Highway Safety Administration in 1996. Each year, about 1.5 million people are arrested in a year's time for driving while under the influence. That is about 1 in 121 licensed drivers that were arrested. I'm a credible speaker because I drink recreationally. I have witnessed others get into a vehicle after throwing a few back at the bar or at a nightclub, and it's not okay. I'm a mother of 2, and when I say my first priority are my littles, then the first thing that comes to mind is making sure that I make it home to them safely each day. I've come across family and friends who can't seem to turn down alcohol, and I'd like to do everything I can to help others stay safe. I will persuade my audience to avoid drinking and driving, as well as be witnesses to helping others avoid it as well. I will address the risk of drinking and driving, ways to prevent it, economic statistics, and seeking support if alcohol becomes a habitual behavior. My first main point is the risk of drinking and driving. I read an article, What is Drinking and Driving? It was published on July 2nd of 2019 by Carol Gallus-Beck on alcoholrehabguide.org. It discusses the risk of taking the chance to drink while driving. Your vision is affected, you may feel groggy, and you have a slower reaction time. Have you ever stopped suddenly due to a car in front of you? Do you remember what it felt like? In just those few seconds, you felt a rush of adrenaline. Imagine if you had a beer or two. Think about when you feel when you're under the influence, and now imagine trying to stop at that same rate of speed. It's impossible. Another risk is putting others in danger, whether they are in the same vehicle as you or surrounding you. You may drive at a faster rate or may forget to stop at a stop sign. You're taking the chance of risking lives and those around you. This can result in casualties or accidents. This can result also in premiums changes or car insurance and fluctuations, or worse, funeral expenses. The biggest risk is death. Now that we've discovered the risk, let's move on to our second point, which would be ways to prevent drinking and driving. My second point is how to prevent drinking and driving. You can prevent drinking and driving first and foremost by taking control. An article published in 2019 by the Los Angeles DUI experts. They are lawyers who specialize in crime committed for drinking and driving. In the article, they express ways to abstain and control the urge. It helps you to avoid drinking and driving. A few ways would be organizing your night by carpooling or designating a driver. You can call a taxi or an Uber. You should phone a friend or a family member. If all else fails, call the police or dial the non-emergency number. They can help you with getting a ride. If you don't drink, you can always take precautions by buckling your seatbelt, watching real closely, and avoiding distractions while driving. Start your music before you leave your destination. Above all things, follow the laws and avoid DUIs. Don't go out if you don't have a ride or don't drink at all. Now that we've covered ways to prevent it, let's cover the statistics in my third main point. My third main point identifies the economical statistics of drinking and driving. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration published statistics on the casualties of impaired driving in 2017. It was an annual report for the full year. There were over 61% of fatalities for drivers who were over the legal limit of intoxication. 14% of those who passed were passengers. Let's put the numbers in perspective. 1,500 innocent people lost their lives. 6,600 of people were those who drove while intoxicated, and it resulted in death. They ended up losing their own life. Drinking and driving costs the United States $200 billion a year due to casualty and damages a person risks by following this behavior. 30% of Americans were affected by driving while impaired with alcohol. So far, it's been proven by Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in 2016 that men are twice as likely to be caught driving while intoxicated than women. Now that we've discovered the facts, let's move on to seeking a change. My fourth main point is always seek support when you can't control the urge to drink. Drinking becomes recreational, and then it can escalate to a problem. What are some ways you know you have a problem? The first stage is denial. The second stage is the moment of truth. And the third stage is getting the help you need. Seek personal help, and if necessary, seek professional help. How to ensure you have the best support system when you confront your problem with alcohol? Look at your support system and ask yourself 3 questions. Can I trust you? Can I rely on you when I tell you something and I am doing something wrong? Will you help me better myself? If you answer no to any of those questions, you may need to distance or remove yourself from the crowd. Place yourself in a better environment for your mental and physical state of being. Become sober. Allow yourself to free your mind and think clearly. Limit yourself. Set small goals to reach your main goal of not drinking at all. Avoid the crowds, avoid peer pressure, fight the urge, and seek counseling if necessary. Stay busy, gain control by exercising, and keep yourself busy. Now that we've discovered the risks of drinking and driving, ways to prevent it, economic statistics, and seeking support, now you have some decisions on your part. Will you work to better the community, help those around you, and do what's best for yourself? There's always a knight in shining armor out there, whether you're a queen protecting the throne, a mother of 5, a sibling, or simply just being kind. Watch for signs for drinking and driving and just say no.